Welcome to Ellie and Lucas. Today we would like to talk to you about some mannerisms that we find that are typical of the Germans but aren't usually typical in the US and of Americans. We have 5 points for you, but if you're one of our Patreon subscribers, go and jump on over to Patreon because there you will find 7 points, so you will get to see the full video. Thank you for subscribing. And if you'd like to join Patreon, it only costs about $2 or €2 a month. Then you can see our full video. So our first point is that Germans typically count starting with their thumb. So like if they're counting in the store and you'd say, yes, I'd like 3 breads, you'd usually say 1, 2, 3. I'd like 3 breads, please. And this is really interesting for me, and it took me probably 3 years to finally get used to, and so now when I go places on the street, I'll start counting with my thumbs and things. But I did go to the doctor's the other day, and he was talking or something, and he also wanted to show numbers with his hands, and then he said 3, and I was like this is the typical way Americans do it, and I was like, but this is not normal, because every time I do this, people bring it up. And long story short, his father spent some time in the States and likely brought back a lot of his English to his son, because his son can also speak very fluent English, so that's probably why his son does this instead of this.
Point number 2 has to do with doors, and this can sound really weird coming from anybody, but especially in office buildings, universities, and places like that, Germans love to keep their office door closed, even when they're available to be spoken to. And this for us is super different coming from the US, where in university, our professors would often keep their doors open. That was how you knew that they were available to talk. But in Germany, one of their very normal mannerisms is that the doors are always closed, and if you want to talk, you have to go up and knock on the door. Try to listen to see if they say you can come in, and even if you don't hear anything, open the door anyways. It's very weird, and if they don't want you to come in, then they'll just tell you to please leave and wait, something like that, until someone inside the room leaves. Hello.
It's so weird for me because in the States, I feel like if I knock on someone's door and I don't hear anything, I don't enter. But that's so typical here. Even at the Ausländerbehörde, so the foreigner's office, it's so typical that you knock and then enter, and they don't even say anything to let you in. You just assume that you can enter. And every time I do it, I'm like, is it okay? Are you gonna yell at me? Because in the States, that's a big no-no.
Yeah, it takes some serious getting used to, but once you are, it's just normal. I was very used to it at the uni after being there for a couple years for my chemistry. If I wanted to talk to my boss, I just knocked and walked in, no matter what. And sometimes he was on a phone call and he just kind of wave his hands to come back later. It's no big deal, but it's very German and very interesting. With that said, make sure to take a moment to pause the video and go down below and click that like button and the big red subscribe button if you are not subscribed to our channel already. It costs you $0 and it just lets you know when we post new videos. Since last week when our nice VZ article was released, we got tons of new subscribers. We're super happy to have you as part of the community. And if you like us, tell your friends, let them know, come subscribe and see our cool German content, and in the near future more travel-ish or at least German exploring content.
This brings us to our third point. So Germans typically, when they're applauding, they clap on the desk instead of clapping with their hands. And for me, it's the weirdest thing ever because in my first seminar, I wanted to applaud after the speaker spoke, and everyone's doing this and I'm doing this and I look so weird. So if you're coming to Germany and going to anywhere where there could be applause, be prepared to but if you are in a concert or something, I do feel Germans also clap. It's just...
Yeah, they're not clapping on the floor.
This brings us to our fourth point. So in German lectures, the students typically raise their finger if they want to say something instead of their whole hand. And I have no idea also why this is different, why in Germany you go like this, and why in the States you go like this. This one is a habit that like I have kept ingrained in me because this just feels weird. So I always like whenever I have something to say in any class, I raise my whole hand and I look kind of weird, but I don't really care. It's just something that's different.
Point number 5 is, and we've talked about this a lot in our videos, it's hard not to, but Germans love their vacations. They love having like holidays. They have some of the most holidays, I think, in the world for days off, as well as Sunday we've talked about. But August in itself as a month is like the national, unspoken, agreed upon holiday month. Holla month. We'll call it a holla month. If you come to Germany, unless you're going to a touristy city, don't expect to make a lot of progress doing much in August. Everyone takes vacation. And I think it's just because the summer is coming to an end. People are getting ready to kind of be stuck indoors for like the fall and winter and working. So everyone just kind of accepts that, yep, it's August, let's all leave the office, let's all go relax. And it sounds super cool, but for me working in the uni, it'd be weird, especially when I first came here and I depended on my boss for a lot more knowledge of what I should be doing. And he was just up and gone for a month. I had no idea what to do for a whole month. I was like, don't have this guy here to tell me what to do. But I figured out it's okay. But never in America would you take off for a whole month. Oh my God, you might lose your job. But that's a different topic for another day. Hey everybody, I'm in the process of editing our video for tomorrow, and I realized that some of our footage is kind of blurry. Usually our camera does super great at tracking us and keeping us in focus, but this time, for whatever reason, it didn't. So the next minute or two will be kind of blurry in the video, but there's still really great points, and you definitely need to stick around so you can see the funny bloopers at the end. Bye-bye! Special bonus point number 6 is that if you lose something in Germany, odds are you'll be able to find it kind of easily. Say if you're walking in the trails in the woods and you drop a hat or like a mitten out of your pocket, the next day you can probably walk back and still find it. In Germany, everyone really looks out for each other, and if they find something on like the sidewalk or in the trails, they'll hang it in a place that's very easy for you to see if you go back looking for it. That way you can find it. Whereas like in the US, we can also be very like helpful, but often we try to return things to like a special, like a designated like lost and found center. And for me, sometimes that's almost less helpful because now I have to figure out where this person took my thing thinking I'd find it there. I'd rather just walk back where I think I lost it and find it sitting there for me.
Have you ever lost anything in the States and that happened?
I don't think so, but if I did, I just didn't care enough to find it again.
I lost a mitten once and it was my favorite mitten, and I'm pretty sure I lost it at a bowling alley, and I went back and it was not there. I went back to the lost and found and even looked in the parking lot. There was no mitten.
So do you wish Americans did this?
Yeah, but I was also really windy that day, so I'm wondering if the mitten just flew away.
And that's the end of all the points we have for you guys today.
Yay.
Thanks for watching, and remember, if you liked the video, leave a like down below, click subscribe if you aren't, and give us a comment. Tell us what you think of these mannerisms we picked out, and if there's other like things specific to Germany that you notice that other countries don't have.
There's no straws in the restaurants usually.
Yeah, thank God for that. Thanks again, and we will see you guys next week.
Mark! Do you ever wake up with cat hair in your nose? Ooh, we can show them our article. Our printer printed it off really good, but yeah. God. This brings us to our 4th point, and this is like the hardest. I can do it on this hand, but I can't get my pinky down. You see this? Anyways,